The Rich Dad and Poor Dad of Jake. Jake was a bright and curious boy who lived in a small town with his family. His father, Mr. Carter, was a hardworking school teacher. Every morning before the sun even rose, Jake would see his father getting ready for work. And every night, he'd see him come home, tired, exhausted, yet still grading papers at the dinner table. Jake admired his father, but deep down he wondered, why did his dad work so hard? Yet they never seemed to have enough money. One day on his way home from school, Jake ran into his best friend's uncle, Mr. Harrison. Unlike Jake's father, Mr. Harrison didn't have a job, yet he always seemed to have money. He dressed well, had a nice house, and never seemed to be in a hurry. Jake couldn't hold back his curiosity. "Mr. Harrison, do you even work?" he blurted out. Mr. Harrison chuckled. "Oh, I work, Jake. But I don't work for money. I make money work for me." Jake frowned. "That doesn't make sense. Don't we all have to work to earn money?" Mr. Harrison smiled. "Most people do, Jake. But the wise ones, they use money to buy things that make them money." Jake didn't understand. Not yet. But something about those words stuck with him. A few days later, Jake noticed something interesting. Every morning before school, his classmates would run to the store down the street to buy candy. And then, it hit him. What if I bring the candy to them? Jake took a small part of his savings and bought a few packs of candy in bulk. The next day, he started selling them at school at a slightly higher price. By the end of the week, he had doubled his money. His heart pounded with excitement. This actually works. Jake didn't stop there. He started selling pens, erasers, things students always needed. His little school business grew, and so did his profits. But then his father found out. "Jake, you should be focusing on your studies, not on making money. If you want a good life, get a degree, find a good job. That's the only way." Jake looked at his father, and for the first time he questioned everything he had been taught. His father worked so hard, and yet nothing changed. But Jake, in just a few weeks, he had already learned something powerful, something different. One day, Mr. Harrison asked him, "So Jake, what are you doing with all that money you're making?" Jake grinned. "I'm saving it in my drawer." Mr. Harrison sighed. "Jake, if money just sits there, it's not doing anything. It's not growing. You need to put it to work." Jake listened carefully. He started saving up for something bigger. And then, one day he saw an opportunity. A small, empty food stand near his school was up for rent. Jake took a deep breath and used his savings to rent it. He hired an older student to run it during school hours. Now, even when Jake was sitting in class, his business was making money for him. For the first time, Jake understood what Mr. Harrison meant. This was passive income. Years passed. Jake's small business turned into multiple businesses. He bought a second food stand, then a third. He started investing in other small businesses. Then one day he did something crazy. He bought a small piece of land. When his father found out, he was shocked. "Jake, are you out of your mind? Buying land is risky. You should just get a secure job." Jake took a deep breath. "Dad, isn't relying on a job just as risky? What if you lose it? What if they stop paying you? But if I own something, if I own land, if I own businesses, they will keep making money for me, even when I'm not working." His father had no answer. Not yet. The moment of realization. One night, as Mr. Carter sat at the dinner table grading papers, he paused. He looked at Jake, now a young man, successful, independent. And then it hit him. He had spent his whole life working for money. Jake had learned how to make money work for him. His father sighed, then smiled softly. "Tell me, Jake, how did you do it?" Jake smiled back. "I just started thinking differently, Dad." For the first time, his father understood. 3 years later, Jake became a successful entrepreneur. He built businesses, owned properties, and helped others learn the same lessons. He never forgot the values his father taught him: honesty, hard work, education. But he also carried the wisdom of Mr. Harrison. Because the real secret to wealth, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how you use it.